Coming up on today's show, I give you my highlights for Gamescom 2022. Hello YouTube, it's PS3 Gaming Scotland here and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are well and gaming lots. So in today's video I'll be going over my highlights from the recent Gamescom 2022. Now at the time of recording, Gamescom is still going on, there is still live streams on about it, but these are my sort of highlights of opening night live and that first sort of live stream of it. So yeah, before we get into the video, as always, please remember to like, comment and subscribe and let me know your thoughts. Are you quite a big Gamescom fan? Have you watched, or did you watch opening night live, or are you continuing to watch currently? But yeah, here are some of my highlights. Again, any sort of release dates that I'm going to talk about in today's video aren't set in stone and could change at any time. But yeah, here are some of my highlights. So this isn't in chronological order as when the games were released, but yes, these are just some of my highlights. So yeah, let's jump into the video. So first up we had Everywhere. Now the game's tagline is time for a new world. Now that automatically gets me thinking and sort of new sort of open world game potentially, but from the trailer we saw it looks a lot like different game genres. Like you had racing, you had over the shoulder sort of first person single player, you had a bit of puzzle games, all sort of mashed into one game. Now again, we don't really know too much about this game. It looks, well, again from what I can tell, it was mostly CGI, if not all CGI. So obviously you can't really tell too much about the game based on the CGI trailer. However, it did look intriguing and I am intrigued with this game. The only thing I would say, the logo of the game looks like one of those in-game currency sort of type logos. Now if that's totally wrong, I hold my hand up and say that I'm wrong on that, but just from my first initial impression it looks to be maybe live service. I'm not sure, I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to find out more. So next up we had a new game from Quantic Dream. Now I love Quantic Dream's previous games. The Trip Become Human was brilliant, really good storytelling, cinematic experience. Heavy Rain was also really good as well. But yeah, this one comes from Quantic Dream. It takes place in the 1970s, under the ocean, where you play as a professional diver called Stan, who is trying to overcome a recent tragedy in his life. So you can explore underwater caves, shipwrecks and so much more under the ocean, and your only company is the ocean inhabitants, the other fishes and animals that live under the ocean. Tonally this game looks beautiful, graphically it also looks beautiful, and it's definitely a game based on the trailer that I'm really excited to play. So next up then we had Where Winds Meets. Now if you're a fan like me of Ghost of Tsushima, Japanese sort of combat, brutal combat, really good storytelling, cinematic cutscenes, etc. This game will probably be for you. Now this one's set in China. Again, we don't really know too much about the setting, but yeah, it looks very similar to Ghost of Tsushima. I love Ghost of Tsushima and I'm intrigued to find out and learn more about it. And that was When Wind Meets. Now again, we've known about this game for a while. It's releasing 2nd of December and that's the Callisto Protocol. We got a new gameplay trailer. It looks very much a spiritual successor to Dead Space. I didn't play Dead Space back in the day on the PS3, but I'm very intrigued and can't wait to play the Callisto Protocol. Hopefully ideally this year. Sort of very single player, story driven, sci-fi sort of horror, a lot of jump scares, probably have good cinematic cutscenes as well, upgrades, weapons, that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, please, I'm sold on this game, can't wait to play it. So another game that was announced recently was Lies of P. Now this is based on Pinocchio. Don't really know how accurate it is in terms of like the films, or maybe it's its own unique game. So it looks very much like Bloodborne, very good brutal combat, sort of wide, sort of linear sort of gameplay, and yeah, it looks to be really interesting, this one. So next up we have Scars Above. Now this looks to be a sort of sci-fi, sort of semi-open world game with horror elements built in. So you play as a team You go and investigate a new sort of sci-fi structure called the Metahedron after being transported to its world, but you've got to try and survive and fight for your survival if you want to try and return home to your planet. Sci-fi, horror, brutal combat, really good. From what I can tell, potential good storytelling, cinematic cutscenes. This game looks really interesting, really appealing, the sort of game that I would play, and it's definitely one I really want to. And finally we've got a new fantasy RPG called Atlas Fallen, set in a sort of desert, sandy sort of environment. It looks to have really good combat, fighting monsters, looks to potentially, from what I've read, have really powerful weapons and abilities, and it's got a lot of mystery to it, so there might potentially be puzzles involved. So yeah, another open world sandy fantasy game. I love fantasy games, and this one looks right up my street. So there you go guys, there are some of my highlights from Gamescom Opening Night Live 2022. As I said, the Gamescom's still going on, but there are some of my highlights. Let me know some of yours down below. What games are you looking forward to that was recently announced at Gamescom 2022? But yeah, that's the end of today's video. As always, thank you very much indeed for watching. I've been PSRE Gaming Scotland, and I'll see you on another video. Thanks very much indeed guys, bye bye.